How are you doing? Oh my God, I haven't been live on this channel for quite a while. I just can't believe it. Today, I want to speak a little bit about what to do when you are sick. And I'm not meaning like, I mean sick with your voice, obviously, right? Just a little joke. So, what to do when you are sick, but you have a gig and you have to sing and no other opportunity than really just go for the songs, right? So, there has been a very big discussion on my German channel about Eurovision Song Contest because singer was very sick, had a laryngitis, a Kehlkopfentzündung, right? She was very sick and she couldn't do almost all the live performances that are required from her to do Vision Song Contest. And there was a big backlash on that basically because there's no performance where she sings that song live. So there's a big discussion in the vocal community what to do actually if you're sick. So first of all, if you are sick and you have a cold, you technically still can sing. You still can sing, right? It's obviously going to be much more difficult if you don't have any knowledge with your voice. It's going to be difficult. If you are coming from a standpoint from someone that has a good, solid, basic background of technique, for this person to sing, it's going to be much more easier because this person already has mechanics of the voice, right? So when I am sick, for example, as a voice teacher, obviously my standpoint is a different one and I'm coming from a technique point. So even though I'm not going to be on 100%, I still can rely on my muscle memory. I still can rely on the mechanics that are running behind the system when I'm sick. So this is so much more easier, obviously, for someone that just likes sing for fun or is a hobby singer or a shower singer, right? So for someone that doesn't have that background, they're gonna be very much dragged down when they're cold, when they're having a cold, when they're obviously sick. So for the impact gonna be much more worse and harder. I think this is something to take in consideration. Basically, what is happening if you are sick, depending on what it is. The vocal folds are really dry. They don't really close. You sound very airy. The airwaves are closed as well, so you don't really can breathe a lot. So you don't necessarily need to breathe through your nose when you sing. Not a necessity. So technically, you still can sing just breathing a lot through your mouth, cause that your vocal folds will dry up. But this is something different. So technically, when you're sick, yeah, the voice is still gonna work, but the timbre will. You're gonna be sounding a little bit more lower. Maybe the larynx drop down. You sound like someone that has dry vocal folds. Maybe because air is going through or whatever the case is, whatever cold you just have right now. But yeah, now there is just two differences. If you have laryngitis, right? This is like the hardcore version. When you have that, you shouldn't sing. You shouldn't sing at all by any means. Now comes the but. Technically, you could do a minute performance. Like if you have a really important gig or you are in television. Like I had in a very important meeting that was many years ago with Universal Music in Germany. I was singing with a correct me if I didn't spell it out wrong, because you guys know that English is not my first language, right? It's German. So laryngitis, right? The laryngitis is the right word. So I had that, and obviously the quality of my singing wasn't as good as when I'm healthy. But I maintained to sing for those 3 important minutes. It was It was a record label, Universal. The chef was there. The A&R was there. It was a very important meeting about my future. So obviously, I had pain. I had pain singing. It was absolutely tough, but I was really pushing through. The not as good as it could be. But this is something different. So technically, if you have a laryngitis and you are, I wouldn't recommend to sing. It is not healthy and it's not good. But can it work for some people for very important occasions? I saw that myself. I saw it in the finale of The Voice, where one of the judges was singing there as well, and she had really difficulties, but she was pushing through. Another thing that you could do if you are you need to sing now because you are earning money with this and you have a gig and stuff like that. So what you can do, number one, is lowering the changing the keys of your repertoire. So this is the easiest way to go. Now let's say you are going if you're singing a repertoire like Whitney Houston, that's something a little bit more difficult, right? But let's say you are singing top 40 and you have a very important gig, you're getting thousands of euro or even 1,000 euro or €2 and it's a big gig and you still need to push through because you need the money, right? So what I would recommend, number one, is changing the keys of the song. Bring it to your speaking voice level. Because if you are just bringing it to your speaking voice level, you save yourself so much stress. So much stress. Because on the level of your speaking voice, it's going to be much more comfortable. There's not going to be a lot of static is coming whenever you are going higher in keys, right? It's always easier to sing in lower keys than going higher. Number one. Number two is not singing the high note. Instead of going for belting and chest voice, you rather mix it or you go into head voice. If that doesn't work, you are changing the tone of the note. If you go and sing "Rolling in the Deep," then I would lower it, but you can maybe find the second harmony to sing or a third harmony to sing. So which harmony could I sing instead of the main key? Because the main key, cool, I think it's a C. C sharp is the we could have done it all. It's a C. So you have to find another harmony that's gonna be more comfortable. It will blend in. You saved yourself. This takes a little bit more work. You have to have musicality to do it. But this is something that I would recommend to do for the singers as a worst case scenario when there's nothing left to do and they tried everything. Another way that you can save yourself is in singing melodically. You are using speech quality in singing. Now, let's say you want to sing "Killing Me Softly," right? And you go, let me give it a go, yeah? Stronging my pain with his finger, singing my life with his words. So that, I was singing it very melodically, yeah? So, stronging my pain with his fingers. It's very much melodically. But if I'm sick and my vocal folds are just not in a good place, the best thing you can do is go into speech quality. Stronging my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with song. So there you go. You avoided to get the note and then sing the note and then really sing it melodically, and you avoided that. And that can help you tremendously, especially when you have a gig coming. So this is something that I would recommend you to do. And other juicy stuff is basically the preparation stuff. So when you're sick, obviously you want to straw exercises that helps you bring your vocal folds together for clarity. You want to do a lot of other things around the health area, right? I would be also careful with what you're eating, because a lot of things that you eat can cause you to have reflux on your vocal folds, and a lot of things have a high when it comes to food. Strawberries, tomatoes, alcohol, we know has a high acidity. Then you have a lot of chocolate, which can cause you to have a lot of slime on the vocal folds. This can cause an overproduction of slime. A lot of food can cause you to have a reflux, and this can be painful on the level of the vocal folds. Very painful. I was suffering with a reflux for 2 years, and had to take medication, and my voice completely deteriorated over this cause. Like, I think 3 years I suffered with a very high reflux. Took medication. I was in hospital even. So this definitely do something with your voice, but this is something for another thing. Back to, just to want to wrap it up, I don't want to make it that long, but if you are sick technically, and it doesn't apply to everyone, because this can leave communication and space for discussion. It doesn't apply to everyone. Another last thing before I go off the chat: singers that are in the professional sector, musical actors and musical, people in showmanship and entertainment, this is part of their job risk. So part of their daily job life, this is a risk they calculated inside to know what to do when I'm sick, how to handle it when I'm sick. So this is part of the risk when they're doing this job. So it may appear for people that do, oh, I'm a hobby singer, for them it's a big impact. But for professional singers, this is part of their daily life. So their life revolves around their voice. This is very different. This is very different. So they are professionals and they know how to handle their voice when they're sick. Also, they have a better mentality when it comes to things. They still need to show up at 8 p.m. in London for their musical, right? They still have to go, and the show must go on, right? You cannot just cancel because you feel a little bit cold today or you feel a little bit swampy. And another thing is, and this is a big major thing, is also singing in period, which can cause tremendous problems on the vocal folds. So the we didn't even spoke about the topic hormones and singing. So if you like that video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you're having a fantastic, amazing time. You had a good Easter. And yeah, let me know, can you sing when you are sick? Or are you like, no, Tania, it's just for me. I'm just really, really down. Let me know in the comment section. And I see you in my next live. And I see you in my next video. And don't forget to rock, weaponize your voice, get strong, and kick ass. That's all about. That's all what we want to do. All right? I see you in my next live stream.